Introducing my next guest right here, right now. We have some gentlemen from a band called the Now. We have Will and Callum joining me on my show just to talk about their latest project at the moment. How we doing, guys? Welcome to my show.
Yeah, all good. Thank you. Thanks for having us on, Danny.
How we doing there? And
Yeah, all good.
yeah, great to have you on. Just here to talk about like your new album, which is doing the rounds at the moment. But where are you based at the moment at this present time?
Go on,
At
bro.
the moment, I'm based in South Wales. I am around Swansea area, in a place called Birch Grove, which is quite close to the centre.
Great. And South Wales, great musicians exported over the years from there, Wales in general.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've got, the Manics, the Phonics, Alarm, Tom Jones, Shirley Bassey, Callum Bromwich from the Now. Yeah, it's all happening from South Wales.
Cool. And your album Too Hot to Handle has just dropped as well on the 1st of March, if I stand correct, on St. David's Day as well.
Exactly.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
For it, really.
And this album, how many tracks are there on this album?
Go on, bro.
I believe there's 10 tracks on the album. Yeah.
Close, 11.
11. It is 11. So there's 11 tracks on the album.
11 tracks on the album.
Yeah.
And in your opinion, what is the standout track from this album? What is the kind of lead single which defines this album, the track?
Go on, bro. What do you say is the best one?
For me, it's Live and Die, personally. I just think that genre of music is just more suited towards me.
That's cool.
I'd have to go, I think, I go Girl You Got Me as my favourite because, I think we're pretty good at playing like sort of like ballsy rock and roll, and that sort of typifies that. So that's my favourite, Dan.
And I was just saying, you have a music video to be made for Live and Die as well, so that's in the works as well.
Yeah, that'll be put out soon. Yeah, most probably be a lyric video though, because we've gone a bit over budget on the other video, so yeah, that'll be out soon.
Great, and our listeners can check your previous videos on. Is it YouTube? Is it?
Yeah, they're all on YouTube. Yeah. All the videos on YouTube, all the songs are on all your typical streaming platforms as well.
Cool. And The Truth Always Comes Out in the End. That's one of your most recent efforts. Can you just tell me a little bit more about that one?
So that was sort of written more politically. We're not a political band per se, but that sort of got more of a political edge. Sort of aimed really at like the Tory government and basically how they treat the working classes. And so when you think of COVID, the how they sort of set the rules but then broke them, and then the truth came out in the end. So yeah, that's what it's sort of based on.
I'll say no more, but yeah, very, very, very good to put things into song, isn't it? Because it was a hard time for everyone. Definitely. That COVID, everything shutting down, hard for musicians and DJs and so on.
Yeah, definitely was.
And then moving on, this album, how long did? I know it was in the works for some time. How long was the recording process from start to finish?
Go on, bro.
We had a week in the studio, 7 days in total, I believe, and we recorded it in Real World in Bath.
Oh, a nice part of the world, actually.
Bath. Week.
Nice.
Yeah.
And your listeners are in for a treat because this album is going to be released on vinyl. A Little Bird tells me.
Yeah, you can get the vinyl. Is on our website www.thenowuk.com. You can pick up that vinyl. Our previous EP is on vinyl. Also pick up a CD, and you can also download and stream it as well.
Sometimes you just can't beat having the physical copy in your hand, can you? It just feels more authentic.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're on the rise as well. The vinyls, I think, again, they've sort of got some sort of surge, which is good.
When you go in a record shop and you actually buy a record, you actually feel like you're doing something, useful, supporting the band as well, musicians, the artist.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And moving on to my next question now, I said about this album to Callum that each of your tracks on here sound different to one another.
Yeah, no, they have a good a good range of styles in there, really. From as Will said, your heavier type music to your softer side of Live and Die, and your edgy stuff like Truth Comes Out in the End, and it ends quite nicely as well on a bit of a ballad. So yeah, it's a bit of everything, really.
Yeah, something for everyone. Then that's good.
Yeah.
And I know in the 1990s, the Britpop scene, the indie scene, was very prominent. Was that era, or even the 2000s? Was that era any influential to you in any way?
Yeah, obviously that's sort of when the Manics and the Phonics came about in the sort of that cool Cymru period in the 90s. Yeah, I mean, I look back now and wish the music scene was the same, where bands actually were featured on Top of the Pops and were played on Radio 1. That doesn't happen anymore now, does it? So you never know, maybe we'll be that band, the catalyst to bring it back.
Yeah, you just don't know, do you? You just don't know what's around the corner.
No idea.
And would you say you're quite an artistic band? Looking on your artwork, it's nice to see like different shades of, colour, black and white, noir shots being used, in your artwork.
Yeah, we were lucky to have Steve Mulholland. He sort of did the design for it. So, and he's done a lot of great work in the past. He did our EP as well. So yeah, we leave all that artistic side to them, and they came through again with a great front cover.
Cover art's quite important, isn't it? Especially like back in the day when you're buying the records, because some people can be attracted to like the front sleeve, can't they? Grabs their attention.
Yeah, exactly, and hopefully people will do the same with ours.
Nice. And on this cover of the album, where did the inspiration come from? The Identity Parade.
Go on, Bron.
Go on, Will. You know more about this one than me, Will. I don't actually. I'm not clued up with you.
Well, they're obviously Too Hot to Handle is sort of like if something is sort of, I don't know, illegal, it's too good to hold on to. So that's where that sort of came from. We took sort of inspiration from The Usual Suspects, with them lined up in like the Identity Parade, and we just sort of tried to meet the title of the album with the same corresponding image, and that's what it came about, really.
Great stuff. And coming on to tour as well, you're looking forward to touring the country, lads, getting on the road.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait. Be nice to get out and play with the new album with the boys around most of the UK. So yeah, hopefully a bit further as well.
Very good, very good. You're supporting Feeder on tour as well. Feeder as well, famous for 7 Days in the Sun, Buck Rogers and so on. How did that come about?
Well, luckily we've got a really good booking agent. So Phyllis is our booking agent. She obviously sent Feeder's sort of booking agent our tracks, and they really liked it. So luckily they gave us a few gigs, and I think it helped a few years ago. Our lead singer Shane messaged Grant Nicholas from Feeder and was just asking for some advice, and he just said, "Oh, look, keep on, keep at it, and I'm sure the dream will come true." And then a few years later, we are supporting him. So it's funny how things happen.
Cool. And the tickets for that show are selling like hotcakes.
Yeah. I think they're pretty much sold out, Brom, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, the Bristol and I think Bristol's got a few left. I know Cardiff is definitely sold out. And then our gig in O2 Islington, I think there's a few left as well.
What do you enjoy about playing like your region, your homeland, like South Wales, Bristol, that area? What do you enjoy, like the more kind of closer to home gigs, tours?
Go on, Brom.
Yeah. Obviously, people we know around our area as well. It's easier for them to come down, so there's going to be quite a few familiar faces down there, hopefully.
Cool. Just a couple more to go before we wrap up. I just wanted to ask you, with busy schedules, travelling and touring, how do you cope? Just trying to balance everyday life with that.
Well, I'm currently sat in my car hiding from my boss at the moment, so that sort of shows. Yeah, you just got to be obviously supportive of one another. Obviously, all four of us have got jobs and got different commitments. So I think as long as you support one another and sort of don't get resentful or get frustrated, then things tend to pan out. So yeah, just support one another and drive as quick as you can down the motorway on Thursday night to London, which I can't wait to do.
And make
70 miles an hour tops, by the way.
Yeah. Make sure you get your beautiful sleep in as well. Sleep is important if you can.
Yeah, I won't get much of that, but...
oh, bless you.
Yeah.
And finally, lads, what's the best advice you could give to any young band starting out in this industry or just any industry in general?
Go on, bro. What advice should I give a young band?
Just keep writing, really. Save up, get yourself in a good studio with a good producer and just write some good songs, really.
Great. Well, lads, that's excellent. That's all I wanted to ask you for today. Thanks for answering my questions on the spot. And we're going to play one of your tracks on my show now. Thanks for joining me on today's show. That was Callum and Will from the band The Now. And right now we're going to play one of your tracks from your latest album, Too Hot to Handle. Thanks, lads.
Thanks, Danny.
All the best.
Thanks,
all right.